All right, Shalom. I want to first start off giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men that taught us this truth through the Spirit, and peace and blessings on to the elect of the nation of Israel, which is us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We make up the biblical 12 tribe to the nation of Israel. This is the brother Abadia and the brother
Yagadal Amon
from the GMS Houston camp, and this is going to be a quick response video to the video that the apostle Tahar did called Universal Basic Income. What say you? Okay, so first we want to go into what that is. The Universal Basic Income is the bill that may get passed, and it looks like they're gonna pass it, but we waiting to see, where all Americans will get $2,000 a month, and I believe if for married couples it'll double. So the husband will get $2,000, the wife will get $2,000, if I'm not mistaken. Then you can look it up just to make sure. But from what I had read, I believe I read that. And also, for every child you have, is $2,000 per child. Okay? And now, our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and really all people, but I'm going to just focus on our people, if they pass this and then, Jake start getting $2,000 a month, they not going to think deeper into what's going on with this. Why are they doing this? They just gonna take the money and blow it, and spend it on bullshit.
Yeah.
So
just
go
real
ahead,
quick,
bro.
Shai, and that's why beforehand we was talking about the fact that how Esau, and this is all pre-planned. This is already mapped out, because you dealing with the COVID-19, which is a key ingredient to leading unto the mark of the beast, man. But we was talking about how they done kept Jake and really all of America locked in their houses, man. All right, and cut all their activities that they used to. Now, right around the time they start to open things up, now they coming with this money. Okay.
Yep. So the people gonna get that, especially our people, especially Jake. They're gonna get that money, okay? And for some Jakes, $2,000 a month is a lot of money, and they're going to go out and blow it on clothes and shoes and drugs and whatever the hell, So
that's what I was thinking of, dealing with like Trump. He used the term phase 1 and phase 2. That's what made me think of it. It's all planned out, man. When you use something, use the word phase, that means you already have a plan in place. That was it, brother.
Yeah, let's get
inflation.
Now let's get Ecclesiastes 7:7, because Jake is gonna see this. Jake not even gonna think into this. Majority of our people are not gonna even think into it. What's going on? Why is this man doing this? What's this all about? How is this going to affect us in the short term and in the long term? Will it affect us in the short term or the long term? Jake is just, because it don't take much to fool a nigga.
Yeah, and they don't stop and think, okay, what's the MO of the so-called white man? What is he known for? Is he known for bailing us out? Is he known for having a so-called good heart and wanting to help the people out through hard times and turmoil?
And even if Jake do come to, grips with that, I mean, they sit down and they think, well, damn, man, this man has always been fucking us over. Once that money hit their account, Jake ain't gonna give a shit. They gonna take that money and they gonna go out and be careless with it.
Because look at the key example is the stimulus check. All that Trump talk that Jake was talking in a negative light went out the window right away.
All right, let's bring that out.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
Because as we and I want to say this, you know, I know the Apostle Ramlab did a response video to this topic, and other brothers have too. So we pretty much gonna be saying the same things, because the cat is out the bag on. The Apostle Tahar said, "What is this gonna bring about, or what's behind this?" And then he said, "I'll give you a hint. It started with an H." Then he said it happened to a particular country here more recently, in the more recent years. And he said, "I'll give you a hint on that too. It started with a Z." And Lord willing, I remember to go into what the H and the Z stand for. If I don't forget, you know, hopefully. So read that again, Baba Kashai.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7. It says, "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart."
Right. So Jake is gonna get in the mindset of being careless, okay? Because if they happen to, which I don't see why they wouldn't, this is the perfect ingredient to bringing about this universal basic income. Would be the perfect thing to go ahead and crash the dollar, okay? To completely put the nail in the coffin on crashing the dollar, okay? Jake is not gonna see that and understand that, okay? They just gonna take the money, and it's gonna it say a gift is gonna destroy their mind. How? Jake is gonna go out and buy shoes. They're gonna buy jeans and T-shirts and TVs and furniture and drugs and alcohol, throw parties and cookouts and blow the money off. Which you should do if you do get that, you know, they come and give us that money. You know, what you should do is make an investment. For example, buy a poor man's gold, which is silver. Buy you a little bit of silver. Buy something that you can use as a bartering tool to hold you over for a little bit when shit get real bad out here. Okay, when the dollar actually crashes. And, you know, maybe before they fully, you know, bring in the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. Okay, it'll be smart to make an investment. Now, us in the know, the brothers that understand this truth, you know, yeah, it'll be smart to, if we were to get that money, to make an investment, buy you a little silver, buy some silver, you know, maybe buy you something that you can use as a bartering item to, you know, maybe get through certain little hard times. But, you know, but we know that that's not going to save us. You know, we had a mindset that the only thing that's going to save us is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, being a part of the elect. You know, go ahead.
No, that's just part of being wise. It's not as it's we making an act out of a lack of faith, but we just know it's going to be times where it's best that you have something to help sustain you for the time being. We know ultimately we stand on our faith in the Heavenly Father, man. All right, we don't have no plan mapped out. We don't have no type of physical security that we relying on.
Okay, so come, brother. Let's go in. So, what can this bring about? What can this bring about by them giving out $2,000? And really, that number would be higher if you include married couples and children. It'll be more than $2,000 a month that's given out through this universal basic income act or whatever. Okay? What will come about from that? Okay? Which our people ain't gonna really think about it. And if they do think about it, once they get the money, them thoughts are gonna go out the window.
Jake don't have outcome thoughts. They just think of what I want right now, and once I get it, okay, what can I obtain?
Right. So what is it gonna take for $2,000 or more? You know, it really probably average out more to like $4,000 when you factor in people gonna be getting $2,000 extra per kid. So, you know, I'm just throwing out some numbers, but what has to happen is they gotta print more money or increase the volume of money in the digital system. Okay? Which means more money has to be borrowed from the Federal Reserve system. You see? Now they just passed the CARES Act, which was for the 2.4 trillion. Now I believe this package that they coming with, this universal basic income package, is I believe, and you can go and check the numbers, up around or close to 10 trillion. Okay? Close to around pushing 10 trillion. So that means more dumping more money or printing more money and putting it into the economy, because when they print it, the people get that printing of the money trickles down to the people, and the people go out and they spend that money. Okay, so what it boils down to is dumping more money into the economy when the dollar already has little to no value. You see? So more printing of money is going to have to happen, which is really going to be more digital than actual printing of money. Is going to have to happen to issue out that monies per month. Let's bring out the definition of inflation. And this is a loose definition. This is off of dictionary.com.
This is inflation off of dictionary.com. Economics. It says a persistent, substantial rise in the general level of prices related to an increase in the volume of money.
Stop right there. So in other words, what I just said, the printing of a lot of printing of money, so to speak. For lack of better words, I'll just use that, even though it's all digital. But they do print up a particular amount of money so that people can have Federal Reserve notes to spend. But majority of it is digital. Okay? So printing up a lot of money. Go ahead.
And resulting in the loss of value of currency.
So, in other words, to simplify it, dumping devalued currency or money, so to speak, which we know that Federal Reserve notes is not real money, but that's what we have as our money source today. Okay, dumping devalued money, okay, into the economy. All right, that's inflation. The printing, the increase, the high volume of printing of devalued money. Okay, so we're in inflation right now, because if you go to the grocery store, it costs to go grocery shopping. You're not gonna come out with much if you go to the grocery store with $100, $200, especially if you got a family.
So you think about when we was younger, you go to the store and your parents might spend $50, $60, and they'll leave out of that store with a basket full of groceries.
So with this CARES Act, 2.4 trillion was dumped into the economy, because that was spread out throughout businesses, and people getting $1,200, the stimulus checks, and also $600 per week extra for unemployment. Okay, and them monies is getting spent. So I was thinking that could possibly cause hyperinflation. So we find out with inflation is just the printing and more printing of devalued or worthless money. Okay? The balloon effect. blowing air in a balloon and it look like, it's something inside the balloon. You steady blowing air in there, which is nothing, and the balloon is steady getting bigger, but it's nothing up inside of there. You see? So inside the economy, it's nothing really inside of it. It's worthless money. That's inflation. Now let's bring out the definition of hyperinflation.
And this is hyperinflation off of Wikipedia. It says, in economics, hyperinflation is very high and typically accelerating inflation.
Right. So we just went into what inflation is. So this right here says very high and accelerating inflation. So it's even a larger amount of printing of money that's going to be dumped into the economy, so to speak.
And it's a constant increase.
And well, in this case, it'll be a set amount. They got like how they had 2.4 trillion. In this case, you can go and fact check the numbers, but upward of close to maybe 10 trillion. You see, the thing is, what makes it accelerated is that it's already inflation. Now you didn't borrow even more, a bigger amount, a larger amount, okay, of value, or you didn't took a larger amount of devalued currency, okay, or worthless currency, money, and you put it into the economy. But what's gonna make it hyper? Matter of fact, I'll explain that part. Read the whole definition.
In economics, hyperinflation is very high and typically accelerating inflation.
Okay, I want to speak on that piece. What's gonna make it accelerating? The accelerating is the spending rate. The rate at which people are gonna spend the devalued currency, the large amounts of worthless monies that's circulating through the economy, how the rate at which it gets spent.
Due to panic.
Due to panic. Due to people seeing that there's a price increase on the goods, okay? On the products that we buy, they're gonna as soon as they get the money, they're gonna spend the money because they're afraid that the price is gonna go up, and the prices are gonna be going up. So as soon as they get the money, they be like, I gotta buy it now. Why I can get it at this particular price? Because in hyperinflation, the prices can change multiple times within a day. For an example, you can go to the store and buy a pound of ground beef, and say it costs $7. Right now, the average of pound of ground beef is, I don't know. I got to go back and check those numbers. But say, for example, you spend $7 on a pound of ground beef. In an hour, that same pound of ground beef can go from $7 to $20. That's hyperinflation. Okay? Because people are spending the rate at which people are actually spending the money. It's going to be in hyper spending. Okay? You can finish that whole definition out.
It quickly erodes the real value of the local currency.
So the end thing that it does to the currency, which is the Federal Reserve note that we got to use, is it erodes it, or in other words, it kills it. It crashes it. Okay? Is it more on that?
It says this causes. It says as the prices of all goods increase, this causes people to minimize their holdings in that currency, as they usually switch to more stable foreign currencies, often the U.S. dollar.
Right, and so in this definition, so the end result from hyperinflation is you have to move from one currency to another monetary system or another currency. Okay, and in that example, they said usually you move from one currency to a foreign currency, and they gave the U.S. dollar for an example. Yeah. Well, now we're talking about the U.S. dollar that's going to be hyperinflated. Okay? So that means the end result of the dollar from hyperinflation, from all this taking a bunch of worthless Federal Reserve notes and dumping it into the economy, or the great printing of Federal Reserve notes that's worth nothing, printing of more worthless money. That's inflation. Hyperinflation is a large amount of printing and then an accelerated rate of spending that money. That's going to cause the prices to increase rapidly. We talking about the price could change multiple times throughout a day. You see?
In the large increments.
Right. So the end goal is of hyperinflation. You got to switch from one currency to another currency. So one currency crashes, the current currency that's being hyperinflated, it crashes. Then you got to go to another currency. The new currency is going to be, we know ultimately is going to be the RFID microchip. Okay. That's what this is going to lead to.
Yep. It pushes, see, in order for them to push the RFID chip, they need drastic measures among the multitude of the people. They need people to be in desperation to survive, to where the point, to whatever the next option is outside of what we're dealing with, we'll take whatever it is to survive.
Yep. Now, you know what I was thinking real quick? We got a couple of more scriptures we're going to bring out, and we'll close this response video down. Is that, say they go ahead and start giving the people $2,000 a month. For certain families, it's going to be $4,000, $6,000. It all depends on if you married and got children, right? Now, say hyperinflation starts sometime in between them giving out that money, which it will. It will bring about hyperinflation. They got to print up a lot of money and then give it to the people. People are going to go out and spend it. Prices are going to start going up. People are going to be like, damn, I got to get this deal or this particular price. Why it's good? Because they're going to be in fear that the price is going to go up. And that prices are going to be going up. So people are going to be spending money at a higher accelerated rate. And when they do that, that $2,000 that you get in a month or whatever it is, depending on the family size, is going to turn into pennies. Because that $2,000, for an example, you may have to take that $2,000, or that $2,000 may only be worth about $50 worth of groceries. Meaning if you took $50 and spent $50 on groceries right now in the grocery store, it's going to take $2,000 because of hyperinflation to purchase the same amount that $50 bought beforehand. You see? So in the midst of this, when the hyperinflation come, people, Jake, like we brought out, Ecclesiastes 7:7, surely a gift destroyed the heart. Jay gonna be happy. Ooh, we balling. We got money. We spending. You know what I'm saying? They gonna have extra monies, right? That extra money, due to hyperinflation, is gonna turn into crumbs. Because $2,000, you may go in there and spend $2,000 and come out the grocery store with a can of beans, a bag of rice, a loaf of bread, and a gallon of milk. So let's go into the next scripture, Baba Kushar.
Okay. This is Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight.
Right, so that's what makes the money. This is what you need for inflation. You need a false balance, okay? You need a weight that's not just, okay? So dealing with the American dollar, for the dollar to be balanced, it needs something to back it, because dollar is just a measurement. It's just a measurement unit, okay? It's supposed to be a measurement unit of something, and so the dollar is supposed to be really measured by gold and silver, and there's no gold and silver to back the dollar. That's why the dollar is worthless or devalued, debased to the point that it is. Okay? So that's how you get hyperinflation, by having a false balance going out into the economy. Okay? You got something you want to say?
On Zimbabwe?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, because the water. So, like the Apostle Tahar said about the what's behind this universal basic income. What's behind it? He said, I give you a hint. It starts with an H. We gave, we gave it away, or we said it already. It's hyperinflation. Hyperinflation. And then he said it happened to a particular country in the more recent years. I believe it was around 2006 or 7. And and he said it starts with a Z, and that's Zimbabwe. Okay. And it took a lot of that Zimbabwe money. I believe if you go and look it up, it was something like they had printed up bills that said 5 trillion or 500 trillion. It had got up to that bad, and that wasn't even purchasing much. 500 trillion of their money, the Zimbabwean money, and 5 trillion or 500 trillion or something like that. It could barely purchase. It only purchased a small amount of something because of hyperinflation. So the ingredients you need for inflation and hyperinflation is you need a false balance. How do we have a false balance today? By the U.S. dollar or the Federal Reserve note not being backed by nothing. Now, we do have the U.S. dollar is backed by the petrodollar. You have the petrodollar, which is the OPEC nations or members, OPEC members, which OPEC stands for oil producing and oil. I'm sorry. Let me give me a second. All right, Salakia, it was on the tip of my tongue. So OPEC stands for Organizations of Petroleum Exporting Countries. All right, and they signed a contract, really starting with Saudi Arabia back in 1970, that said they had to sell their oil in U.S. dollars or Federal Reserve notes. So the dollar is backed by oil getting sold because everybody needs crude oil. Okay. So the dollar is backed by mainly the OPEC nations or members selling their oil in U.S. dollars. They have to by contract. Okay. But if you look at what's been going on recently, Saudi Arabia and the other OPEC members have cut back the production of oil. I believe it's to 1 million barrels. They had to cut the production down they had to cut down 1 million barrels per day. And they selling it at, I believe it's in the negative right now. Well, I know about a week ago it was. I'm not sure where it's at now. Okay? So the petrodollar is really not shit right now. Okay? Because they selling oil that they had to cut the production of it, and they ain't making no money off of it. That's why it's cheaper to buy gas. That's why it's better for the consumer at the pump right now. But for the actual oil producers, they getting hit in the pockets. That's why Halliburton had massive layoffs. In National Oil Well, Varco, and other oil and gas. Schlumberger, and it's a lot of them. Baker Hughes, okay, are having these layoffs because they make parts, and they have other businesses too, but they make parts to cater to the oil and gas industry. Okay. And that's pretty much the only thing that's backing the American dollar. And now that shit is looking leery, gloomy. Okay, so the petrodollar is not looking good. You got something you want to say? All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, that's our thoughts on the universal basic income package that they supposed to be coming with. The government's supposed to be coming with. Ultimately, it's gonna lead. What that will lead to is the crashing of the dollar and bringing in a new currency, because that's what hyperinflation. That's what that would bring. That package would bring in hyperinflation. Hyperinflation results in switching from one currency to another currency, and the new currency would be the RFID microchip. Okay, so with that, Lord willing, this video was edifying and exhorting onto the Spirit. Once again, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men that taught us this truth through the Spirit, and peace and blessings unto the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.
Shalom.